Baide.
Inakwana.
Good morning.
Ilahiala.
Ekaro.
Obohia.
Good morning.
Megwo.
Edio.
Tutuama.
Kadeo.
Good morning. Rise and shine. This is the morning ride. We have got an action-packed day ahead with headlines, sports, business, great conversation. Start your day right with VOP's morning ride. Weekdays from 5 a.m. Good morning. Good morning. It's easy to cover the news, but what we are doing is hard.
Front page review.
Front page review gives you the story beyond the headlines, the news from every angle.
Now let's start the review with this day. The lead story, bury zoning and bury Nigeria.
The story on top of the lead, terror threats. Sanwo-Olu summons emergency security meeting. Last but not the least is the story on the window. At 70, Buhari extols Daisy Danjuma's years of service.
Join the front page review at 7 a.m. every weekday on VOP 96.1 FM.
We go deep into details to form a lot of opinion and also give you the opportunity for your thought to be heard. And halfway through the program at 7:30, we usually link up with Mr. El-Rufai Oseni, who will also lend his own opinion on some of the headlines that we have for discussion. We have quite a number of them today to look at, and we will begin by discussing some headlines with you, obviously, before we link up with our guest. And the first on our headline today is on the Punch newspaper that says, "I would rather die than allow bandits take over Yankari Reserve." Who is saying that? None other than the Bauchi State Governor. The Bauchi State Governor, Senator Bala Mohammed, popularly known as Kauram Bauchi, has lamented the activities of bandits at the Yankari Game Reserve and Safari, vowing that he would rather die than allow bandits to take over the tourist side. Mohammed, who made the vow in a speech at the launching of the 2023 tree planting campaign held on Thursday at the Dungal Housing Estate, Bauchi, said British investors were planning to take over the tourist center and invest $18 million. Hence, his resolution never to allow the bandits take over the place. Today, he says, "We are happy. We are being recognized by the international community. Bauchi has become the next investment destination. Our biodiversity, which is Yankari, has attracted British investors that came here, discussed with us seriously, and they are ready to take over Yankari to save our fauna and flora, to save our animals with an initial investment of $18 million of their own money, and to bring security. We have been battling with bandits inside Yankari. I will never allow them to take over Yankari from me under my time. No way," he says. "I will either die or they die. They will not be there. I am assuring you, the people of Bauchi. So we will have to work. We don't have to sleep because so many things are going on against us," he stated. The governor, while speaking further, lamented the activities of tree fellers across the 20 local government areas of the state. He therefore declared war on the charcoal business in the state. He said, "Our commitment to survive as a people, irrespective of climate change around us, if we are doing things that are not good, which is helping the enemy, the manifestation of droughts, erosion, flooding, deforestation, hunger, and so on are all attributed to climate change. Unfortunately, we are the unwilling messengers of collaborators. We have to work on our own ecosystem. It is a harmonious call. It is an organism, and we are all parts of the universe. The universe is devastated by our activities, and we know what it is, not a laughing matter. It is a fact. We appear to be overwhelmed by the activities of criminals, those who don't want to listen, and those who disobey and cause problems for all of us. Our trees are being felled. Charcoal business has become the order of the day. We have been arresting them every day, and somehow our neighbors have stopped. But we have willing collaborators in our leaders, political leaders like you and me. We're here in this estate to show you that tree planting is the way to go for sustainable development. We need to come together and fight for our survival. We need to take back our environment. We need to assure our future generations that we have to live and that humanity is here to thrive. Yes, this is quite a valid point, a positive one, but if I should critique I'm not too impressed with the first part of his submission, talking about when he talked about issue of security, that he will not allow bandits to take over Yankari Game Reserve. Of course, you should not allow bandits to take over Yankari Game Reserve, because you are the chief security officer of the state. But when you come out to public space and throw in the towel by saying you've been overwhelmed by the activities of criminals, I mean, what confidence or what message are you sending to your state people? What message are you sending to Nigeria? And what message are you sending to the international community? Because some of these things that we tend to look at as if it's a local news, it is global, because the world is now a global village. By the time you open your mic or you open your mouth to say something now, you never can tell where it will go. You can only have control over what you say, but who listen or where it goes, you don't have any control over it. So I am really not comfortable by hearing a state governor saying they have been overwhelmed by the activities of criminals, because you are the chief security officer of the state. You are saddled with the responsibility of securing and safeguarding the lives and property of the citizens of your dear state. So really, there is the need for us to have a mentality shift. We have to have a paradigm shift when it comes to how we approach our security issues. It is not okay for you to just move out of Nigeria to go for programs and conferences and seminars and conventions outside Nigeria, but you don't just sit and look at issue of security, which is paramount. This is one thing that we have been battling with in Nigeria, issue of insecurity. Then how do we get out of the woods? By looking at critical stakeholders, by looking at how to use modern technology, modern technique in terms of fighting insecurity. That is how we do. But if we continue to use the manual that we are used to, the stick and carrot approach, I'm not sure we will get out of the wood anytime soon. Even if we are going to make gains or record gains, it's not going to be significant. Just like he said, they've been arresting, they've been after the bandits, but they keep on coming every day. So it tells you that you are not doing something right. And as the chief security officer of the state, yes, it is a good thing that the British people are coming to invest $18 million to take over the infrastructure of Yankari Game Reserve, to revive the reserve. This is something, it's a national asset. If you go into history, what the Yankari Game Reserve does in the past, and also the place that the highest team that plays hold in the Committee of Nations, talking about international standard, it's really something that, if at all our people understand the business aspect of game reserve, I'm not sure they will be doing what they are doing. They will take it with a very serious stand. They won't be using kid gloves to look at issues surrounding Yankari Game Reserve. It is a national monument. But now, are you saying we cannot, as a country, take care of our own national asset? We are waiting for other nationals to come into Nigeria to invest their money and take care of it. I'm not against it, because it's foreign direct investment, but how bad have we gone to? How do we look at issue of national asset and how we look at business in the part of government? I think this is why some people are of the opinion that government don't have business in doing business. What they should do is to create the enabling environment for business sector for business owners to come in and let it thrive. Talking about investors, be it local or foreign investors. But again, what is your thought about this issue? Do you feel it is okay for a state governor to come out and tell us that he knows that he has been overwhelmed in the state in the issue of insecurity, especially when we talk about Yankari Game Reserve? This is something that has gone down. It has a lot of history, if you know what I'm talking about. Is it okay for us not to be able to take care of our own national asset? We wait for other foreign nationals to come and invest their money in it. And if there is no security guaranteed, I'm not sure those foreign investors will come into the country. It's time for me to open the phone line to get your thought and opinion on this particular headline before we move to the next story. The number to call is 0700 010-961-961. 0700 010-961 961. You can call normal call, or you send in an SMS, or you want to use the WhatsApp portal. Yes, it's also our WhatsApp number. You can call through the WhatsApp handle, or you drop your message or voice note. We will play your voice note and read your message. Let's hear your thought. What do you make of this situation in this country? Because I feel personally it is not okay for a governor to come out and throw in the towel and say the state is overwhelmed by activities of bandits or criminals in terms of that. But again, on the other positive note is the issue of tree planting. It is something that we have to embrace in Nigeria. We have to look at the ecosystem and improve and discourage people from cutting down trees. They say the last time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time to plant a tree is now. So let's imbibe that culture of tree planting. It goes a long way in helping the way we live in our society. The environment is going to be friendly. We already know that issue of climate change has been affecting us greatly in Nigeria. Part of the flooding issue that we have been battling with, some communities already have started to feel the heat of the flooding. Talking about, I think, Adamawa State, they've been affected already, even with the warnings that came from Lagdo Dam owners, that is talking about Cameroonian government. We are having to battle with a lot of other climate change issues. So tree planting is one of such ways that we will help to improve the ecosystem. So if you have the opportunity, please plant a tree. Wherever you are, plant a tree, because it goes a long way in helping you and even the animals that live within the society. All right, let's move to another story that we will be looking at as well this beautiful morning. This one is saying BTA request drop over Naira depreciation, bank officials. Some banks have stopped attending to forex demand from their customers over foreign exchange crunch challenges, the Punch has learned. It was also gathered that new demand for personal travel allowance and business travel allowance reduced after the Central Bank of Nigeria unified the exchange rates in the country, making it more expensive to get. A source who would not want to be quoted in one of the Tier 1 banks said, "We have stopped giving out PTA and BTA because we don't have dollar. We still have a lot of pending requests that we have not been able to provide forex for." Speaking with our Punch correspondent, another source who was not authorized to speak said, "Since the exchange rates were unified, we now sell at rates similar to the black market rate. We don't have the forex to give out now, but when we sold at rates above the closing I&E window, the demand has reduced drastically. Even though we still have a lot of requests we have not met." After commencing the free float of the national currency against the dollar and other global currencies in June, the banking regulator released its new report on understanding the operational changes to the foreign exchange market by collapsing all segments in the forex market into the I&E window. It said this meant all eligible forex transactions in the market would only be done via the I&E window, as all other windows ceased to exist. The I&E market functions by a willing buyer, willing seller system, where an entity with demand for forex seeks out another entity with forex to sell at an agreed price through an authorized dealer, the CBN stated. On the concept of the willing buyer and willing seller model, it explained that the and other invisible transactions would continue to be accessed through the banks at the prevailing market rate. But what we are saying here, we have to be objective, really. And what we do here on Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja is that we look at the stories and we don't just stay within the fairy of the stories. We go deep down and give it different perspective. What we do is we break it down and let you understand the implication of these particular government policies. That is basically why we are here. People-friendly radio station is what we are. We give you the opportunity to be heard, because now a lot of Nigerians, especially students, are battling with the issue of forex. It has gone so bad that a lot of people are now thinking of not going back to the foreign countries for their education, and sometimes it's for business purpose. A lot of businesses are crumbling due to the lack of forex. Talking about the US dollar, which has always been a symbol of international transaction in the market. It is global. It is not only about Nigeria. Sometimes I do ask myself this question, that why are we so dependent on dollar? But it is what SWIFT use as their basis of transaction when you look at the situation that we found ourselves. Anything you want to do, you have to go through the US dollar. They have built that advantage, that competitive edge over other currencies. But we will keenly observe what will happen as a result of the BRICS nation, talking about Brazil, Russia, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, and the likes, how to rival the United States dollar. Saudi Arabia, I saw in one of the headlines, are even considering releasing about $16 billion from their reserve in order to boost the BRIC nation currency that they are trying to sell. While some are saying, why is it that Nigeria did not apply to join the BRICS nation? But we say we wine and dine with the United States of America. I don't think that will be friendly when it comes to international relations, because they say enemy to my friend is an enemy, right? Is that how they say it? All right, what I'm trying to say here is that we are friends with the United States of America, and for us to go dine and wine with countries that are trying to rival them in terms of international relation, that will be seen as sabotage by the US government, and Nigeria wouldn't want to do that. But again, we have to be open-minded and look at things objectively, and that is what we do here. We give it different perspective. We try to balance our story and balance our opinion and thought on issues that we bring to you. The number to call and let's hear your own thought about these stories that we are bringing to you this morning still remains 0700 010 961 961 0700 010 961 961. You may be wondering, the number is probably more than 11. Yes, it is correct. If you call, you will get through to us in the studio, and it's also served as our WhatsApp line. So what I'm trying to say is that if you call us normal call or via WhatsApp, you will get through to us in the studio. Issue of dollar crunch is affecting Nigeria, especially businesses and also people who are traveling out of Nigeria for school or for education purpose and other things. Let me quickly take a look at this story, because I think yesterday we talked about our agricultural sector in Nigeria. So one thing that we were known for in the past, talking about cocoa. Yeah, cocoa is one of the things that we're known for in Nigeria, when we used to export a large quantity of cocoa. Before we even discovered oil, it was cotton, granite, and cocoa that were the basis of our export, and we were making wave in the world, not only in Africa or Nigeria. So let's take a look at this one that says why cocoa farmers are demanding for regulatory board. Cocoa Farmers Association of Nigeria has reiterated its call for a regulatory board that is not involved in the buying and selling of cocoa beans, but solely for promotion and development of cocoa industry across the supply chain in a sustainable path. The Cocoa Farmers Association of Nigeria National President, Comrade Adeola Adegoke, who disclosed this to The Guardian, said this has become imperative in view of the prevailing challenges facing the sector and the concerted geared at evading the European Union ban of unsustainable cocoa beans in 2025. It has become imperative to reiterate and clarify our position regarding our demand for a regulatory board from President Bola Tinubu to reposition the cocoa industry for growth, which some have erroneously assumed is an attempt by cocoa farmers to demand for a marketing board. Cocoa farmers cannot forget in hurry the pain suffered due to the price stabilization policy of the dissolved cocoa board before 1986 that enslaved our smallholder cocoa farmers completely. Cocoa Farmers Association of Nigeria had said it thousands of times that the dissolution of the cocoa board was like throwing away the baby with the dirty water due to the setbacks the industry suffered thereafter, he said. Adegoke said there is no doubt that Nigeria has witnessed a negative paradigm shift in all spheres of the industry after the dissolution, especially in the production, productivity, quality, livelihood, deforestation, gap, extension, policy and plan, research and development, ecosystem and child labor, amongst others. He said this has therefore reinforced cocoa farmers' position that the price stabilization policy of the dissolved cocoa board led to her downfall, but not the overall promotion and development mandate of the board that gave rise to their giant production, productivity and good quality of cocoa beans with the best aroma in the 1960s and early 1970s in West Africa. CFAN is making her position clear to Mr. President and the new Minister of Agriculture, and food security that what cocoa farmers are demanding for is a regulatory board that is not involved in the buying and selling of cocoa beans, but solely for the promotion and development of the cocoa industry across the supply chain in a sustainable path. In view of the prevailing challenges facing the sector and the preparation towards evading the EU ban of unsustainable cocoa beans in the year 2025. Just to let you know that there is a ban on Nigeria's cocoa because of the standard, a lot of issues here and there, and just like I said earlier on, that issue of business, they say government don't have a business in doing business, but again, the environment, the conducive environment is what we are calling for. Set a regulatory body that will take care of all of these things. In terms of exportation, that the opportunity of export in the agri industry, it is huge. This is something that if at all we are able to expose our teeming youth, because the strength, Nigeria's strength is in our population. It is a strength. Our population is a strength that we should not even be having issue of food insecurity in this country, because we can expose our teeming youths to a lot of opportunities in the agri value chain that we can boost the agricultural sector, boost our employment and productivity, also to improve on our economy. A lot of value chain in terms of agriculture that we would not even exhaust if we stay for 1 month to expose our people to the value chain in agriculture. It depends on what you take. You must not go carry hoe and cutlasses to go to the farm before you be known as a farmer. There are a lot of value chains that you can do. Even if you carry the hoe and cutlass and go to the farm, it is also part of agriculture. So let's look at the business part of agriculture. Expose yourself to some of these realities. Look at the opportunities that lie. Not everybody will be employed, or not everyone will get to be employed by the government or the blue chip companies. You may be an employer of labor when you start your own personal farming business. You don't need to carry cutlass and hose and go to the farm before you become a farmer. And let me not just overboard this issue, because I'm a passionate farmer. I believe in farming, and I believe that Nigeria have the potential to feed Nigeria, to feed Africa, and even feed the world. If Poland, a small country that is not even more than Niger State in terms of landmass, will be able to have over $100 billion value in terms of agriculture, then what do you say about Nigeria, where we have the atmosphere, the topography, we have the land, we have more than anything that you can ask for. We have everything in terms of agriculture in Nigeria, except for the enabling environment, and we are calling on the government to actually look into that and create the enabling environment for businesses to thrive. I'm gonna go pay some bills. When we come back, it's gonna be time for us to link up with our guest analyst, Mr. El-Rufai Oseni, who will also add his own thoughts on the conversation. Stay with Voice of the People, 96.1 FM Abuja. My name is Ali Udoma.
Serving you hot and fresh content on radio, and you have been loving it. Now we're taking it further. Catch us live on YouTube at VOP TV for all the juicy content you can't resist. Talk shows, exclusive interviews, news, lifestyle, and more. It's all about you. VOP TV, show up, speak up.
The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and cold berry ice cream. Delight in every school. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and cold berry ice cream.
At number 4, Ogbomosho Street,
Area 8, Geriki, Abuja, or 3rd Avenue, Gwaripa, Abuja, or Federal Housing Estate, Phase 2, Lube, Abuja. Call 0908-831-5906 or 0908-831-5908 or 0909-238-9861. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at romeospizza.ng.
website
www.romeospizza.ng. Romeo, the pizza champions. traveling to Lagos and desire a perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, number 42 Murtala Mohammed International Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in our beautiful appointed rooms, featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Now, whether you are traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your every need is met. We also offer complimentary pick-up and drop from the Lagos airport.
Why not take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant?
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So why wait? Book your stay today and experience the ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort.
Believe me. Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka.
Embezzlement.
No, the plea bargain is a slap on the wrist now. It doesn't have consequence like normal conviction. Normal conviction shows you for what it is. A plea bargain just lets you go and nothing is held against you because you go scot-free. But normal consequence, when you have a jail term or you do a jail term or you are indicted by the court, it makes more impact than plea bargain. Those are just slap on the wrist now.
All right, so would you encourage us to go with plea bargain in Nigeria?
I would encourage the full course of the law to take action. That's just it.
All right,
let the court rule.
Okay.
Let them be found guilty by fault. This plea bargain, in fact, just encourages them because people will steal a lot of money. They will do plea bargain. They know that, okay, the ones that they've stolen, that is not there, and they can run away with the rest. And that's why a lot of people do and they go scot-free. They give you half of it. Because you don't know the extent as which they're stolen. You think you know, but you don't know as the investigator. So it can be as simple as that.
All right, let's talk about this on the Vanguard newspaper that says Navy foils at alleged attempted crude oil theft, arrest 5 Tita employees. The Nigerian Navy has alleged that some employees of the Tita Security Service have been arrested while trying to escape with crude oil on the Lagos waterways.
Wow. Now, see the way I'm laughing. The same Tita that has been advertising on TV, that they are the ones fighting crude oil theft, they are the ones that are arrested, that they are stealing crude oil. Oh my God, I'll leave you this country na cruise, na real cruise. Oh my God, what is going on?
But again, Mr. Rufai, if we are to go deep into details, not to look at it from the face value, I could recall a couple of weeks ago there was this back and forth, an argument between Tita and the Nigerian Navy. You remember that Tita were saying we arrested these and we're suspecting this to be Navy officials, but later on the Navy came out to debunk that claim that the Tita people were not even giving the true picture of what happened. So I believe that there's gonna be back and forth between these two agencies, talking about the government agency and these contractors.
I mean, is it safe to say both of them are involved in crude oil theft? Because we need to know the truth. And that's the problem with the country. Look at our OPEC production quota. Quite very low now. We didn't churn out anything. For over a couple of months now, we've been hovering between 1 million and 1.25 million barrels per day. Other countries are doing way more. Iran is lifting 3 million. Anyway, our highs are going to 2.5. Iran is lifting 3 million. Saudi lifted 9 million in the last month. So most of it too is still being stolen. They are still losing 400,000 barrels per day to under production. So you just wonder what's happening, what's going on in this part of the world. What is really going on? And everybody is just for their own means, for their own sake, for their own selfishness and all of that, while Nigeria suffers. And that's why it's also incumbent on us to diversify, move away from crude as the only means at which we can get dollars. Look at other alternatives, explore. Look at it effectively, hear what we can do to ensure we do better. I mean, we shouldn't do this to ourselves, bro. This is falling. So who do we believe now? Tita. Nice words. Now, they become the thief.
I'm sure in no distant time we'll hear a reply from the Tita from them. I'm sure we will hear a reply from them.
Yes, so. But I'm waiting for the reply because they need to account for this. They need to answer.
All right, we have this headline on the Punch newspaper that says, "I would rather die than allow bandits take over Yankari Reserve." Bauchi Governor. The Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has lamented the activities of bandits at the Yankari Game Reserve and Safari, vowing that he would rather die than allow bandits to take over the tourist site. Mohammed, who made the vow in a speech at the launching of the 2023 tree planting campaign held yesterday at the Dungal Housing Estate, Bauchi, said British investors were planning to take over the tourist center and invest $18 million. Hence, his resolution never to allow the bandits take over the place. So my question here is, the governor is now coming out to say they've been overwhelmed by activities of bandits. If a chief security officer of the state will come out to say this, I mean,
it just shows the level of disparity in our country. Why not police company? We're not doing anything about it. The government really needs to die. What it needs to do, what is the government can be done. So what happened to the forest ranger? People used to go and explore. I don't know how much is Nigeria has deteriorated. People used to go on excursion to the game reserve. In the 80s, I remember a story being told. And my sister went for a
Hello. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Better.
She went to my school then in Sapele to Yankari Game Reserve for education. But today, the safety is the problem. And if possible, we have tourists that can come there, build up international hotels line and everything there. Like you said, the person was about investing $18 million. It will help the field. But it's just not what happens in this country. Very sharp.
All right, let's take a look at this one on the Vanguard that says, Edo 2024, 30 aspirants jostle to succeed Obaseki. Factors that will produce Obaseki successors. Labour Party lead quest with 15 aspirants, APC 9, PDP 6. The Edo State governorship election is more than 12 months away, but the Edo political firmament is already astir. The field is crowded with the hosts of aspirants who are seeking to succeed Governor Godwin Obaseki, whose second term will lapse on November 12, 2024. As it is, the political atmosphere is getting tense as political gladiators, contenders, and pretenders scheme to be strategically positioned for electoral victory. My question here is the position of the deputy governor, talking about Philip Shoaibu, and I know they've been over this issue of back and forth between him and Godwin Obaseki. What do you make of this situation? Do you think they are gonna come out they will resolve their differences, or do you think Shoaibu will stand a chance against the incumbent?
In the end, my brother, it's all politics. It is all politics. And the question is who comes out winner? That is the winner of the game in the end. Both Shoaibu, both the governors, they probably have had something between them before now, and they had interest aligned, but now interest is not aligned again because of politics. So that's why you're seeing all that is panning out amongst them. But most importantly, with all of these contenders and pretenders, it should be the people that will decide the fate of the state or who will emerge in the end. Because the true power belongs to the people. And politicians must never deny the people their right to choose because of rigging. That's what we always call for every time. Please. You must never deny the people their right to rigging. It's not done. It is sad. It leads to all sort of undemocratic activities in the end. Let's not give evil a chance. Let both parties play by the rules. Tribal is gunning for it. Tribal wants it so bitterly. Obaseki has different thoughts and opinions about it. Both men have been at loggerheads. I've had the privilege, to be able to engage across board and across various party lines and various supporting lines in Edo State. And what they tell you is, I'm the best thing since sliced bread to get it. It depends on who you are talking to. Depends on the camp. So let's try pounds out. Politics is a context.
Sure.
They're going to contend for it. Obaseki will contend for the people he wants. Tribal will contend for the people he wants. And we'll say I found that in the end. As long as it is clean. And let the will of the people be done. It's the people that should make the decision in the end. Not anybody, not any shenanigan, not any rigging, not any political shenanigan. Because if we keep doing that, then we keep building barriers. We keep destroying our society. And we keep building things that are untoward for the future of our people.
All right, this one is on The Guardian that says, Minister endorses concession of stadiums, target grassroots development. Minister for Sports, John Owan-Eno, yesterday in Lagos said that his administration has endorsed the concession of National Stadium in Surulere and other stadiums nationwide to private individuals who will help to revamp and maintain them. And this is just happening yesterday. Similarly, there is the reversal of concession of airports, talking about Murtala Mohammed International Airport and also Aminu Kano International Airport, that's Lagos and Kano, by Minister of Aviation Festus Keyamo. So which is the way forward for us? We're reversing concession in one sector and also encouraging concession in another.
What? Because concessions, always.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
So concessions shrouded a lot of mischief. So I'll give you a very strong point. That national stadium, I don't know what happened to it before. I think there was a time Mr. Kesinti Adebutu, Babadiafu, as a fondly called, put something down for the revamping of the national stadium. How did that project be? So if now they are concessioning it so that it will be rebuilt and all of that, but what did that project, how did that project go initially as regards the national stadium under the former minister? What happened to that project? So these are the questions we should ask ourselves, and that's why you see, it's not a balance. Not supposed to be where you have accountability and trust. But it's not the case in Nigeria that people, they will just manipulate the system and steal the money, or it becomes problematic. So let's be careful about it.
All right, so how about the reversal from Festus Keyamo on the aviation industry, talking about the two airports, Lagos and Kano?
Aliyu, I'm happy about that, Aliyu. You also the shenanigans that happened with the former minister now.
Of course.
You also the shenanigans that happened now, and that led to all those concessions. No. It's Keyamo that.
Hello?
President accordingly as regards what happened. I say it's good for Keyamo to hold on everything, and they will review. Then you should be able to advise the president on where next to go from there. That's pure and simple as that.
All right, this one is on the Vanguard that says, I know I had your opinion the other day about this when they were planning to actually carry out this particular exercise, and now it has happened, and I want to hear your reaction to it. FCTA impounds crushes 400 commercial motorcycles in Abuja. The Joint Task Force team of the Federal Capital Territory Administration on Thursday impounded and crushed no fewer than 400 commercial motorcycles for operating illegally in the Abuja capital city. Do you think there are better ways to handle this situation than crushing the motorcycles?
Yes, I think there are better ways. That's really unfair. That's really unfair.
But these
I think there are better
they
ways.
were warned and they refused to heed to the warning.
If you are one and refuse to give it one, you can sit it and auction it out. You can sit it and auction it out. Not touch it, not destroy it. Touch people's livelihood. You can sit it and auction it out. It's not as simple as that.
All right, let's.
So, and then, anytime you catch it, yeah, you can catch it in other parts of the world, not in Nigeria where there's massive problems. Let's not do that.
Okay, we have this. I think I'm getting a kind of feedback. Okay, it's better now. Why this one is talking about what we were known for in the past is on the Guardian newspaper that says why cocoa farmers are demanding for regulatory board. Cocoa Farmers Association of Nigeria has reiterated its call for a regulatory board that is not involved in the buying and selling of cocoa beans, but solely for promotion and development of cocoa industry across the supply chain in a sustainable path. I want you to give us an insight about this call by Cocoa Farmers Association of Nigeria for a board to be set aside, that to be formed, that doesn't have anything to do with buying and selling, just promotion and development of the cocoa industry, and by extension, our agri value chain. What should we do to improve on it?
So we're always had boards that pretty much fixed the price in the 60s, especially we're very strong in the Western region. And I think on the 80s when they were placed out. But for me, I think President Tinubu campaigned for this, and the best iteration would be, yes, you should have a board, one that regulates and promotes and develops, and also fix prices, and also provide storage, because those are the problems that we have with a lot of cocoa farmers out there, and how they can also bring about development in the system based on extension services and all that. So I don't believe that the board should just promote and not fix pricing. I think they should go ahead and scare pounds out as regards to the pricing and all of that. But there's been a couple of boards, that I should call them, that helps with the storage of this farm produce and affects forest. Helps store farm produce. So the problem is really
there's this feedback I'm getting from your end, and it's really affecting the conversation. I don't. Maybe I should call you back.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I think it's better now. Yeah.
Okay. So the agricultural value chain that you talked about, the major problems we have, number one, as regards crop, because agri has many value chains.
Of course.
There's what I like to call crop, there's what I like to call livestock, there's what I like to call research. So I'll tell you a little bit about the area I played in, because I'm a farmer by training, have a degree in animal physiology and anatomy. The area I played is the area called research. So research also deals with research that has a blowback effect on livestock production. So I'll give you an instance. For you to be able to provide more livestock and provide improved variety, there's something called animal breeding and genetics, and there's something called, passing on the good traits of animals to another generation. So I worked extensively on semen. All right, semen preservation and all of that. How to take semen from a dead animal and ensure that it is viable, and how we can help make a production as regards that. So I work extensively. That. So that's what I work extensively on. So those are pretty much the things I worked on.
All right,
so those are the things I worked on.
Why I'm asking this question, because we have another headline also on the point that talked about how ginger farmers are losing their hard-earned investment in Kaduna. that says Kaduna ginger farmers lose 10 billion naira to strange disease. And you can relate that to the aspect of research that you talk about. How well have we invested in our research?
We have not invested in the research at all. And that's the things we have not done in a while. And those are the things that keep on affecting all of us as a people and as a continent and as a nation. So once we do all of that, once we get it right, then we can truly be able to build a society. But the truth has to be told. A value chain in research, a value chain in crop production, which also deals with things like, for instance, low productivity, low yield per hectare, and all of that. Low productivity in the system, a value chain across board. Also a value chain in animal production. Also a value chain in logistics. How do you carry products from one place to another? How do you build product? How do you ensure agricultural products get to places needed? Cold chain, for instance, that's another big area of agriculture. So these are the value chains that we can look for support and funding as regards cold chain storage. And when you do all of that, then you can open up a big agricultural market. And it's just unparalleled what you can do from that regard. So there's so much to be done. There's so much you can open up. And the truth has to be told. If you don't open it up, then you can't get anything out.
Certainly.
So there's so many areas. But all of this revolves around the ease of doing business, how easy it is. So take, for instance, I'm talking about agricultural transportation, logistics, value chain.
Okay.
Where are the roads? Where are the roads for you to carry from farm to market? Where are the rails? There was a time in this country that people used to carry cattle from the north to the south via train, via rail.
Yep.
All those days now are long gone. All those days now are long gone. So these are the problems we keep seeing, and those are the things we keep talking about. The value chain. And when the value chain is not there, you have problem chain.
All right, and finally, growing SMEs through credit system is also on the punch. Access to credit is essential for economic growth and development of any country. A business have a lot of gain when an economy transits from a cash-based system to a credit-based system, according to credit professionals. How can we leverage on that? How can we transform from cash-based to credit-based economy, especially for our micro, small enterprises?
We can do a lot now. First, number one, de-emphasizing cash, having a more credit-based system in payments and all of that. That's what we try to do with the Naira redesign now. Yeah. Which a lot of people and politicians saw a political motive to it. Secondly, also talk to the banks to be able to make credit available. The banks are there for small business, but it's only in Nigeria that the bank only lets people that are bigger already that have leverage. Talk to the banks, improve upon the system, bring about investment. I have always advocated all the people that steal money. And they steal money of them. So rather than they make that money rot away in their basement and all of that in their septic tank, why don't they bring them out? Invest in people. Okay, look at the value that was lost. Look at the people that stole Naira notes. When they were doing the Naira return, when they were bringing up dead Naira notes. Yeah. Value gone forever. How about you take that money and you push that money into essential parts of the. How about you take that and put that into essential part of the economy?
But Mr. Fry, let me ask you this question. Talking about the bank, if you are going to be talking from the bank perspective now, you put yourself in their shoes. With the current system we have in Nigeria, talking about how our business atmosphere operates, would you assess the risk involved and dish out credits to small businesses with the high rate of non-compliance with our debt?
Did they tell you that? Have you ever tried studying small business? Did they tell you that the small business that don't repay loans? In fact, it's the big ones with leverage that don't repay loans. They're the ones that go and undercut loans. Small business that you can do your risk assessment and you can see the diligence there, they repay their loans. In fact, it's the big boys that are the biggest defaulters. It is the so-called big boys that they are the biggest defaulters that they get their hands burnt with. Small businesses They do a lot to repay their loans. I have been part of many schemes for small businesses that I can tell you from experience. They repay their loan because they know that they want to grow their business. They are not caught in the pizzazz of life and all of that. They just want to create value and keep it moving. That's once and for all. So the banks need to change their orientation. And the problem with the banks is that they're only just so concerned about the quick money they want to make, which is always a problem.
Okay.
Because when you want to make quick money, you don't have quick direction and things. So those are the challenges that are being faced.
All right. I think that will be all for today. Hello?
Huh?
I said that will be all for today. Thank you very much for your wonderful insight on the topics that we have today. Do have a lovely day ahead and enjoy your month.
Bless you. Have a great time.
All right. Thank you very much. This is the size of our package for today on Front Page Review on Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja. Having said that and looked at all of these headlines, we will continue to tell you that this is your friendly frequency, that whatever we do here, we look at you first. That is our listener. You are the biggest stakeholder in what we do here. We bring some of these headlines and deconstruct them, tell you the implication they have on your day-to-day activities as a Nigerian. And that is what we do on Voice of the People. You can get this elsewhere. You can watch us live on YouTube on Voice of the People Abuja, and also across other social media handles, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Thread at VOP961. My name is Ali Udoma. I'm going to pay some bills, then after then it will be Igbo Amaka Front Page Review in Igbo language. Variety is our spice. We speak your language. Do have a lovely weekend ahead. Thank you.